Oh, listen, I've never seen such a political bombshell kept under wraps to the extent that this news has been kept under wraps for the day. I mean, it is simply, there is a sense of disbelief around this place. This is government buildings here behind us, where we just saw Leo Varadkar announce his resignation as leader of Fine Gael, and ultimately leading to his resignation as Taoiseach as well. But new proposals on assisted dying were top of the political agenda here in Ireland for the day, and we were hanging around the other side of this building is the parliamentary building, Leinster House, and all the talk, all the gossip this morning was about that. No one had any inkling of this announcement coming down the tracks. And when you look back at recent events, certainly some signs were on the wall. Leo Varadkar has been under pressure, and especially with the exodus of his sitting TDs, the Irish members of Parliament. So 10 have now. Kieran Cannon from Galway announced that he would not stand at the next election just last week, and that brought to 10 the number of his party's TDs in the Dáil, the Irish Parliament, who announced that they would not put themselves up for re-election. And if that doesn't sound like a huge number, maybe by UK standards or international standards, you've got to bear in mind that he was able to form a government the last time, a coalition government, after getting 33 TDs elected in total from his party. So 30% of Fine Gael's TDs that were elected back in the last election in 2020 have already announced that they simply are not putting their name forward for consideration. That sort of exodus will always raise questions about the party leadership, and the grumblings had been there, and then wham, along came those twin referendum defeats. They were not just defeats. These are the twin referendums earlier this month to remove what was called sexist and outdated language from the Irish Constitution, also to redefine marriage in the Irish Constitution as well. These weren't just defeats by the Irish electorate, they were trounced by the Irish electorate. The latter referendum was defeated by 74%, a 74% no vote. That is the highest no vote ever in the history of Irish referendums, and this is a country that has a lot of referendums. And that really amplified the feelings of discontent within Fine Gael, within the party. And certainly there were whispers and there were certainly murmurings of discontent there, but I don't think anyone had really seen something like this coming down the tracks so soon. And it's an interesting time. We're just 7 weeks out from the local and European elections, and really, to read between the lines, there could be a sense here that Leo Varadkar simply came to the understanding and came to the realisation that the party would do better at the ballot box without his leadership, under a fresh leader. And then as well, the general election, I mean, the government has a maximum of another year up until March next year, but everybody was expecting a general election, much like in the UK, maybe in October or November this year. And certainly Leo Varadkar is now clearly of the opinion that he needs to give any new Fine Gael leader, which we should know after the Easter break, who will then become Taoiseach, he wants to give that new leader a bit of time to try and produce a bounce, to try and produce that new leader bounce that political parties crave. And he wants to see, therefore, that new leader get a bit of time to get their feet under the desk here at government buildings ahead of the local and European elections in June, and then, of course, the announcement of the general election, which we do still expect, despite what Micheál Martin, his coalition partner, the leader of Fianna Fáil, he wants to go full term. That remains to be seen.